Hey everyone, welcome and thank you so much for this Sacred Sunday, for being here for this Sacred Sunday message. It feels like time is just flying by, but at the same time, it feels in some ways like time is sort of like kind of hovering over some sort of uncertainty in our path. But nonetheless, we are on this journey, and the journey is what it's all about. It's the most, I don't know if I want to say it's the most important part of the journey itself, because the destination is also important. But before we begin all of that, I would like to just say how much I appreciate you being here with me today and at all times. I do feel led to be a spiritual messenger, a spiritual guide, and someone who is with you on this journey. It's interesting because this morning, as I was meditating and praying over this message, I was hearing the word docent. And if you are familiar with that word, docent is somebody who is just below the professional level, but they act as a tour guide, someone who kind of leads you through a museum or fine works of art, and they are knowledgeable in their whatever subject matter it is, and so they take you through the tour. And this docents are always volunteers. I don't know why that came to me, but it did, and that's the word that was just really pronounced when I was in my meditation and my prayer. And so I do want to tell you that this is Sacred Sunday, where we focus on the deep matters within our heart and soul. And it is a time to nurture yourself, nurture your soul in listening to these Sacred Sunday messages. When I am recording this, it is Sunday, August 27th, if you can believe it. We're already at the end of August. And it is a day, a time to, for many people, they believe Sundays are a time to rest. And I do believe that's why I do the Sacred Sunday messages, because it is a time to rest and to listen to your soul, to nurture it, to give it the time of day, so to speak, so we can move along our paths, right? And so I am, once again, so thankful that you're here, and I want you to know that this channel is all about love. It's about the journey. It is about listening to our heart and soul. And I am just very thankful that I have this opportunity to do this for all of you and for myself. So let's get it on with this reading. I felt led to use the Talking to Heaven cards, okay, because I use them for soul cards. I use them for when I'm doing a reading for somebody who wants to, or for someone who has passed to connect with somebody who was here. I do those kinds of readings too. And so I felt led to use these today. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody comes through to give you a message. But as I shuffle, oh, thank you. The first card that pops out is there is no such thing as death. Okay? So listen. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. My eyes itchy. I think it's allergies. There's no such thing as death. So what I feel from that is, obviously, this is about our soul. Our soul goes on for eternity, right? Our souls are limitless. Our souls are timeless. And we go on. That's why I believe in lifetimes, not just one. Our soul goes on. And for some reason, this very much feels like a sacred spiritual being that is with you. So let's get into this and see if somebody comes through or what this message is about. I want to get back into what I was talking about, the word docent that I heard very strong and very clear in my meditation and in my prayer. And it feels like somebody is stepping forward to show you the way, okay? That could be, part of that could be this message. It could be me being a spiritual guide, delivering a message that will help you, will trigger something. For some of you, I feel like it is somebody who you had, maybe you had a spiritual contract with, or it could be somebody who, a guide, somebody is going to be coming forward to nudge you, to guide you, okay? Just know that. I often wonder about, when our loved ones pass and what their lives are going to be like next. What is their life going to be like next? Their physical life. Because the energetic life it's always there. Always. Because there'll never be a shortage of lessons to be learned, I'm telling you. It is just this vast experience. And it is thought-provoking, right? So you start thinking about these things, but for me, I feel into these questions that I have. So I feel into them. So I want to make sure that I am on board with my soul. What does my soul tell me about this, right? Fascinating, this physical and spiritual journey that we each have in our individual paths. So it feels very much like we're at a time where some of you are at a crossroads where your this chapter or this part of your spiritual journey is done, right? It doesn't feel the same. Something feels different. And don't think that your divine creator abandoned you. Don't think, and don't see that I say think, because if you feel into your heart, you know that your guides are there, your divine creator is there. But it's something that is sort of just done. I don't know how else to explain it. Something in your spiritual journey has fulfilled itself, okay? And now it's time to move on to something else. It does feel very much like you need a guide, okay? You need someone to take you and show you the way. And that guide may be in your dreams. It may be sort of working through someone else in your physical life to kind of take you by the hand, to kind of be a mentor or to kind of guide you, right? It could be that you come across somebody in the professional world that you need to help you in your physical life. Because look, we can't go through life just all spiritual and ignore the physical, because we have responsibilities in our physical life that we have to tend to, right? But yet we want to be a spiritual being. So we have to balance those things. We have to make sure that we stay in balance, or things are going to get a little wonky. So what I'm really feeling right now is a very strong sense of leadership. I feel like for some of you, you are embarking on some sort of leadership, going in a leadership direction where it's almost like where when God called Moses to lead his people out of the village to get to a safer place, to a better place, a more wholesome place, right? So it feels like some of you are being called to be some sort of mentor, spiritual guide, to have a practice in place eventually that will bring in people that you can help and you could guide. Some of you might even be starting up a channel to be a messenger, to be, you might be a card reader, you might be a messenger, you might be somebody who channels. But I feel like we're in an interesting time where what we knew before as a life purpose seems to have hit, stalled out, right? And that doesn't mean you did anything wrong. What it means is that you're gearing up for something else, right? Or whatever you've been doing, it's changing, and something, maybe you're changing some format, or you're changing something. Something is definitely changing with your life purpose, okay? So for some of you, again, it's like it's a brand new thing, whatever this is, what you're being called for. And for some of you, it's, oh, I need to do this and revamp that, or something like that. That's what I feel is coming through within our life purpose. The human part of us thinks we have it all figured out, don't we? It's like, oh, I love this gig. I like doing this. This is what I love doing. And it is from the heart and soul. Like me, I love doing this. Giving messages and doing readings and things like that. I just feel like that fits like a glove for me. That's just me. That's who I am. It's what I am supposed to do. So I feel like some of you are being called to some sort of service. That's what it feels like, okay? That's why I heard the word docent, to kind of, it kind of goes with being a leader. You're leading people, you're showing them things, you're helping them to discover maybe something that they are passionate about. I don't know. I feel like some of you might be going into sort of a life coach or spiritual life coach sort of situation, and it feels very like good, like this is supposed to happen, this is what you're supposed to be doing, okay? You'll know intuitively, but there is no such thing as death. So here's what's happening. You know how you hear people, tarot readers, and they show you the death card, right? The death card, death represents something that's final, that's over, right? So that's why I'm saying, Spirit is saying that if you are in some kind of life purpose and it feels like a dead end, it's really not, because it's just an opening to something else, right? That phrase that we hear, when one door closes, another one opens, or something. So it feels like Spirit is trying to say, don't worry about it. You've done everything you could do in that part of your life journey. Now it's time for something. Something is changing with that, something new, something different. It's time for, just when we get comfortable in our wheelhouse where we feel comfortable, this is really, I've really been seasoned in what I'm doing spiritually, it changes, right? So that's what's happening. And it's weird how that card, there's no such thing as death, and then the one on the bottom says, I am not dead. Okay? So just because something stalls out or is changing doesn't mean it's done. We were given a life purpose for a reason. And our soul has to carry on. And that's what's happening. We are not to believe that just because something changes in what we've been doing as spiritual work, it doesn't mean it's over. We are spiritual beings of infinite light, and that means we are moving forward, and things will change, but it's not a bad thing. So just know that, okay? Is there anything else in this deck, guides? I feel like you sense a change, right? For me, this was almost, something felt different, and it feels different in my, in this life purpose, doing this channel, doing these readings. And it almost felt like whatever was there, or part of whatever was there, felt like a death. Like, okay, it's not there anymore. There's something that's different now. It doesn't mean it's over. It means that it's changing. And that's what's happening in all of our journeys right now with our with some kind of life purpose, or some kind of you've been a healer in some way, shape, or form, and it's changing a bit. So what I'm hearing is it's upgrading. It's upgrading. Okay. There you go. Although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. Sometimes we don't see it, and what we don't see, we fear sometimes. And let me tell you something. We are never alone. And I know that sometimes we feel we are, but we are not. Our guides are always here with us. Our angels are here. Our divine creator is here. Sometimes they want us to see what we can do on our own, right? We were given strength, we were given power, we were given intellect, and so sometimes I think we go through these phases where it's sort of maybe a test to see how much we've grown. And sometimes we feel like we're not heard by our guides, by God. Sometimes we feel like they are busy doing other things, helping other people, or doing something else. But that's not true. They are always a part of us. They're in our soul. They are part of us. Those peaks of joy, your divine creator. Those moments of support, your guides, your angels. In times of uncertainty, you might hear or see something that triggers an aha moment. Our guides are with us. They are helping us. And when you see signs like triple numbers or same number over and over, the universe is trying to say, hey, change is here. Accept it fully in your heart, even if you don't see it. Accept it. Trust it. It is here. For some of you, you have animals by your side. Their energy, they may have left you physically at some point, but they are here with you. I always feel like animals give back. And it feels like their energy wants to help you, to surround you after while they're here, but once they pass, I feel one of my dogs often. And I know that his energy is here. He's drawn to my energy because we were connected. And so if you were connected to a loving animal, a furry friend, a furry forever friend, their energy is here with you, okay? For some reason, a cat stands out. I don't know if that's in regards to someone who's listening, but I feel like he was, or she, I don't know. But this cat was a lap cat, okay? That's what I feel with this. Always enjoyed being on your lap or someone's lap. And so this energy is here for you still and always. Again, these messages, they are for everyone, but sometimes they only resonate with some. And in that particular case, I feel like it was more personal for someone. But it feels very much like you're kickstarting something new in your spiritual journey, okay? It feels like an ascension. It feels like an upgrade. For some of you, you may have some sort of set where you do like a podcast or something, and I feel like that could be changing as well. Like it could be the decor changing. There's something else. Maybe you're upgrading it. I feel like there's something more that's needed. Okay, that's just for whoever that is meant for. I feel strongly that some of you, like I said in the beginning, some of you are being called to be a leader, to lead people, to help people heal, to show them the way to healing, to wholesomeness, to love, to self-love. That's what I feel with that. And maybe you're thinking, yeah, well, how am I going to get the money to do the training for that? Because those are not cheap. I know. I've checked into it. But it feels like somehow you figure it out and you find a way to make that happen. Because there are many people out there who need your healing energy to trigger them on their path, to move them along. Because it's like a domino effect. What we all have an effect on everyone we come in encounter with. Whether it's joy, whether it's I'm impressed, whether it's I don't like you, whatever it is, we have an effect on everyone we meet, right? And so it feels very much like for some of you, you're going into some kind of spiritual learning, and then giving back and moving into some sort of leadership position where you're showing people how to move along in their spiritual journey. And I feel doubt in some of you. I feel it. I can't do that. I'm not a leader. I've never been a leader. I don't like being in the front. But you are. Because that feeling, those words, those doubts are self-taught. Okay? In this world, in this society, we are taught that we can't do this or we can't do that. You got to have the money for this. You got to have the money for that. And I'm always going to be, in middle income or lower income. I'm never going to be on the higher end. That's not true. It's not true. I feel like some of you have been on this journey and have been learning lessons about knowing your true value, because you see it. It's like black and white. You see where you are right now, right? And it doesn't please you. And then you envision on the other side of that where you would like to be, and enjoying the finer things in life, enjoying wealth, enjoying support, enjoying all of the things that you are not currently experiencing right now. A loving relationship with someone, romantically. And it feels like, for me, I'm seeing somebody who loves nice clothes. You want the finer things in life, okay? But where you are right now isn't giving you that. And so it feels very much like there's some kind of roadblock here that's keeping you from those things. And it feels like it's not far off from what you want, from where you are to what you want, right? That's what that feels like. And so it almost feels like you're holding the reins too tight, and it's preventing you from moving forward. Letting go and trusting. It's a daily practice. It can be by the minute sometimes, but it's important to trust. It's important to trust in you. It's important to trust in, I don't know if I want to say the world. I want to say there is a place for you where you are envisioning where you want to be. There is. You have to unstick yourself from your false beliefs and from your doubts. And I can say the same for me. I can apply that to myself. There's so many things that can derail us from a happy journey, right? Now, being human beings, we can't always expect to be happy and cheery every single day, because sometimes things happen and it does trip us up. Sometimes it does. I feel like I've had a lifetime of testing that way, being tested that way, right? But I say this over and over again, and I'm going to say it until we all believe it, that we have the power to turn our life around. We have the power to manifest our dreams, our deepest wishes, our desires. This isn't the most ideal time in our country, right? Financially, and I'm not going to go into all of that, but it is a struggle. It is. And I'm not going to sit here and say, because you're a spiritual being, that you're never going to struggle. That's not true. We will have moments where we struggle with something, a decision. Maybe we don't have the money for something, or we don't want to live where we're living and we want to move into some other place. But we have the power. We were born with intellect. We were born into kind of our soulful journey, right? So somewhere along the way, people have lost that basic need to connect with their soul. And so they follow the advice of the world, which in some cases that's okay, because sometimes we need professional help. But who really is the docent? I feel like that's you. I feel like you are the docent who is going to take the lead here and come out of whatever situation you are in. Some of the things in our path are fated. So yes, we do have times where we have to wait for divine timing in order to take the next step. But we also, I feel like we also should work with the universe, to work in tandem with the universe, because the universe wants to work with you 100%, okay? And that can go both ways, as I have said. It can go negative if you're negative. It can go positive if you're positive. Do you see how you have the power to stay in a position of negativity or move forward into positivity? You have the ability to change that. I know people who don't believe that at all. They believe in conspiracy theories. They believe in, just being held down or held back is just embrace it. That's the way it is. And I can never change. Nothing can ever change. Nothing can move forward because that's just the life that was chosen for me. Not true. Do you feel as if your divine creator wants you to be poor or suffer? Or some people believe that in order to be in service, I can't have wealth. I have to sacrifice everything to be in service. That's not true. It's not true. I feel like there's a big emphasis on this, you as the docent leading yourself through this magnificent tour of your life, the life that you want. And it feels very much like you are that person. Your soul is showing you, this is what you can have. Why aren't you achieving it? Why aren't we getting there? Why are we still spinning our wheels? Why? But that's human nature, to feel as if we're stuck, to feel as if this is our life forever, or there's no way out. I don't see a way out. There is. The one word that I don't like in this scenario is patience. And that's because I'm a human being who doesn't like to wait for things. Patience is a very hard thing to achieve. It is. And I can't help but feel like whatever it is that you're moving into, you're the leader, right? Not downplaying God, not downplaying your angels. But in this case, they're expecting us to move forward, okay? Interesting, this card that popped out, stand still, when I just said move forward, right? But that's what I feel like your energy is right now. Just kind of a sitting duck, so to speak. And if you look at this picture, do you see how it's almost like it's almost like the darkness is sort of overpowering the light, and it also feels like a thick in the forest with this what is this, a pelican in the water, maybe just kind of standing there. That's kind of how it feels. Like, that's kind of where we are. Like, we don't know what to do next. Our guides aren't showing us, or, what's going on. I'm not being shown what to do. Because I will gladly do, and I feel like you're thinking, I will gladly do this. I will gladly take the next step if I only knew what it was. What is that next step? For some of you, maybe stillness means quieting the world around you for a moment to hear your soul, to hear your message, to trust your guidance, to ask the questions. What do I do next, guides? What is my next? What am I embarking on next? Show me. I'm very happy to do what I need to do in order to get there. But show me what it is, because I don't know right now. And you know what? I think your guides will show you. You will be shown something. Or somebody's going to come through to nudge you. Look at this. Oh, the soul cards. I'm standing right next to you. The answer is here. It's here. You just have to allow yourself to be shown, or to allow your soul to tell you what to do next in your spiritual journey. You may have had dreams about a new life. You may have had dreams about an action step you have to take. You may have had dreams where someone in your dream is showing you, like it's playing out like a movie. Someone's showing you the beginning, the middle, and maybe the end. And so you're seeing truths that you haven't seen before in some part of your life. I love how these cards come together. I will always point you in the right direction. That's your soul telling you. You at a crossroads? It's simple. Here is what you need to know. Get quiet. Get in stillness for a moment to hear what your soul has to tell you, to welcome that news, to welcome that direction, to crave that direction. Okay? Don't be afraid. I am here. And I will never leave you, is what I'm hearing. That is your soul. Okay? And it feels very much like when you take the time to listen to your soul, you will have the answers that you need. I'm looking at this card. I'm just a thought away. What does that say to you? Reach out, ask for guidance, help. Reach out to your own soul and ask, what do you want to tell me? What do you want to show me? Maybe you've been given signs and you brush them off because they're not what you want, or they're not what you want to hear. Sometimes the next step in our journey isn't always what we think it should be, but it's necessary. So it just feels very much like we are being led. We are being led in a new direction, to start something new or to expand on something in your spiritual journey. Know this. Trust it. Believe it. You are destined for something greater. Okay? Not that what you've been doing hasn't been great, because it has. But it's time for some change. If you're a reader out there and you've noticed a drop in your audience of subscribers, that's okay. It doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It means that people are growing and they're moving on to something different. I'm just going to do another card here. And we hear this all the time, new beginnings, don't we? Because in our path, on our journey, there's always going to be some sort of twist or turn or ending and new beginning, right? I don't like to think of endings as, that's it, I'm done, over. I like to think of it as a seamless entry into another chapter, right? That's what it feels like to me. That's why they say trust. Trust. Trust in your community. Your community is your guides, your angels, your soul tribe. To trust, okay? I love the butterflies because they always remind me of metamorphosis, blossoming into something beautiful. That's what it feels like. I don't feel as if there's anything more, unless my guides tell me quickly that there is. So it does feel like we are embarking on something beautiful, something grand, and something that is very nourishing to our soul. Okay? I hope you have a new understanding. There's a card that says new understanding. I hope you have enjoyed this reading, and I hope it has resonated in some way, shape, or form. Guys, trust yourself, okay? Trust yourself. And think about this. Would a parent lead their child on a journey and then suddenly abandon them? No. So know that your soul is not abandoning, you're not abandoning your current mission. You are welcoming in a change, okay? I hope you all have a blessed day and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Until next time, love and light to all of you. Namaste.